No. Imagine how Halsey feels.
Does Halsey even know what's going on?
No. Well, it depends on how much Team Osiris has been reporting back. But then again, they don't know what Cortana did yet.
Yeah.
They just got there.
I feel like Halsey just knows Cortana as far as she knows her. And everybody else is on their, on their WTF game as they try to desperately parse what this crazy AI is doing and where she got all these crazy radical ideas from.
Well, one reason could be she had rampancy and then pulled herself together. Now she's like on a whole other level.
A whole nother level of what? Fascism?
Of of insanity.
Well, she's not really crazy. She just has
I mean, no, she's not
a severe
crazy.
ideological difference in how to handle protecting the galaxy. She's like, I gotta protect the galaxy by keeping you all in line and obliterating anyone who steps out of line. And I'm like, okay, Cortana, that sounds kind of totalitarian. Okay. Are you sure you're the same Cortana who stayed behind at High Charity just to ensure the safety of humanity? The galaxy, Nye? Is this that same Cortana?
I don't know that it's the same Cortana.
With her literal plot armor?
Little.
It's literal plot armor. She got it from the plot. She survived rampancy, and when she came back, she was wearing plot armor, and we were like, "Oh, okay, that's how she survived." Okay. I mean, when they say that, that's a phrase. You're not supposed to just take it literally and like give her literal armor. But
Well, she decides how she looks, right?
No.
She's not actually wearing anything. She does.
She doesn't. She's a piece of code.
She does.
She's a piece of code.
She is. She is, but she decides her own, like, her appearance. That's something that she controls.
What part of the canon told you that?
Well, I was just reading The Fall of Reach, and every AI seems to be able to do that. They all choose the way they appear. But for example, Deja, remember her? She looks like a Greek statue holding like a tablet. Halsey remarks at one point that she finds it interesting that that's the form she chose because, the function of that AI is to be a teacher, and, this is the form that she chose, like a literal ancient statue.
So you're saying Cortana came back and decided to look completely unlike herself, head to toe? Because she doesn't look like Halsey anymore. Her face is kind of jacked.
I mean, I don't know if it's a. I don't know if it's the redesign type deal, but her face is very different.
She's like, I was too attractive before I went into the domain. I want to be ugly.
Oh, stop. She's
She
not
came
ugly,
back wanting
but
to be
she
a
does look different.
butterface. Halsey's gonna be so mad. She's gonna be like, you were supposed to be like a portrait, okay? My youthfulness was preserved in you. Now look what you've done. You got cheek fillers. You know, you got a little bit of that Promethean, that precursor Botox going.
Precursor Botox.
See, this is why you don't see Hollywood changes a person. Listen, we gotta save her. We gotta save her. This is not the Cortana we know. Something is seriously off here. I keep waiting for that last act twist where, you know, it just turns around and it's like, haha, you thought I was Cortana, but I'm really Dio. But I'm
Dio.
Alright, you ready to jump into this?
I'm ready.
The Master Chief and his team face their greatest threat and his hardest choice as the true power of Genesis is revealed. It's time to go full crab. Are your loins ready? Alright, yeah.
No. Weren't we Team Osiris before?
We were.
Yeah. This isn't right.
What? What do you mean this isn't right?
This isn't right. We were We were Osiris before.
I don't know what to tell you, man. This is the next level. I
All
don't know
right.
what to tell you.
Where'd she take us?
Cortana,
Don't know what to tell you.
what is this?
I'll let.
Oh,
Cortana,
okay.
answer
We're
me.
just gonna watch the cutscene again. Oh, we're gonna fight.
You risk all in the name of us, Cortana.
Warden, don't.
They mean to undo your plans. They will disperse your
Can't salty.
Leave, Warden.
Oh, get deleted.
I'm sorry. I didn't think he could get in here.
Enough games. You brought the Guardians here. Why?
Forerunners used Guardians to keep troublesome worlds in line. I intend to do the same.
You what?
If there is no trouble, there will be no need for discipline. I have work to do now, John. Come to me, quickly.
When Cortana first found Genesis, I swore to protect him.
He wants a fight, Blue Team.
Let's give him.
My pledge stands even though she now resists.
You were making a comment about all these Warden Eternals who had us fighting.
Yeah, we're about to fight him again.
Is this Cortana? And if Cortana just has the power to randomly delete him, why can't she just delete him now? Yeah, I could use the ammo.
Hey, she said she had work to do.
Can't she multitask?
Oh no, I'm down.
Could maybe take the high ground. There's a lot of dogs down here. It looks like a mess. There's a whole Promethean night chilling. Guys are very questionably designed, I gotta say. I keep thinking to myself, like, white enemies on white backgrounds. It's so
Yeah.
hard to see. Prometheans know how to. What the heck happened to the team?
We're all dead.
Not slacking, Linda.
Oh, Kelly's dead. Oh, you're dead. Everyone's dead. Why didn't you say anything when you could have been?
I did. I'm back.
Yeah, see, their melees are a little bit.
I need an assist.
Yo, Linda, come over here.
You're up, Fred.
Thanks, I'm back.
What the fuck? Wow. I'm down.
Feels good to be Fred. I'm coming for you.
I think Linda's
Every
got
time
me.
I hear my own name, it makes me think of Lion Blood. Oh, I'm down.
I'm down.
Linda can get Kelly. You get me. Or not.
Gone black.
Or not. Everybody can go get
Alright,
Kelly.
I'm coming for you.
Nope, it's okay. Linda's got me.
I thought you were Kelly.
Thanks, Spartan.
I'm wearing a black and white suit.
Breaks over, Kelly.
My call sign is PNGN.
Need support.
And it says Expert Penguin next to my name. My feelings
Need an
right now.
assist.
He's being racist. He's trying to say I look like everybody else.
Ah!
It's not over yet.
I'm trying to say all Spartans look alike. I'm taking umbrage with that. Oh, wow.
Affirmative.
That was a
Yeah.
that was a kamikaze headbutt. Look at that. Did you see? Here, I literally sacrificed my neck for you. My actual neck.
You sacrificed your
Did you see
neck.
that headbutt? That saved your life. That headbutt was so serious, I was immediately downed. Alright, I guess I'll drive the fun V.
The fun V.
Yeah, clearly the humdrum V is just winning.
Well
I was just trying to figure out where to
Never
go.
admit it, but you've made an impression on him.
What do you mean he never admitted? I mean, we bodied him like 5 times already. Like straight body. Right? Just gave him
Body.
the old
That's true.
right in the cheeks. Just jumped up and went, oof.
It's so good to see you again, John. So good to see all of you back together as a family.
Psychological tactics.
Yeah, she doesn't make that sound nice.
What would you have me do?
Tell me the truth. How many people died when you called the Guardians here?
Excuse me?
You know, don't you? The exact body count.
I can't see how not.
Of course she
Listen
knows.
to that dry silence.
And yeah.
Listen to his questions.
We are replaying a small chunk of the game. Then.
Be swayed.
Let me guess. More hostiles inbound.
We'll handle it.
I guess
No.
this is an Osiris / blue team mission.
I guess.
Because I remember. I mean, where we were playing as Team Osiris.
We were. It's right after Cortana
Takes the teeth away.
freaked out on us.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's all right. We have the benefit of hindsight.
Cortana argues for peace in the galaxy, yet you humans answer her call with weapons.
Not peace.
Tell me, 117, when you tear Cortana from the domain and crush her in your gauntleted fist, will you feel remorse?
I mean, I don't think anybody said anything about crushing her, but
The gift you have refused.
we may need to run a few McAfee scans, you know, just to be sure. I mean, didn't say anything about crushing her. Taking the nuclear option a bit there, champ.
Ah! I'm down.
Likewise.
I'm down. System's gone black. I need an assist.
Expert Penguin is dying. Can we revive Expert Can we revive? Thank you, Linda. Linda always has my back.
Let's get you stabilized, Kelly.
Unlike certain other ladies in our group. That Guardian on Guardian violence.
Guardian.
That thing is tough. I just tried to double jump. This is why you don't go from Destiny to Halo.
Cortana's letting this happen. She could bring
No.
Morton in if she wanted
See,
to.
Kelly knows.
I'm thinking the same.
How are we gonna stop her, Chief?
She'll listen to me.
That tactic hasn't worked so far.
It really hasn't.
You hear, Cortana?
I mean, why are you even trying to talk through the comms? It's clear that the warden has the wiretap.
Cortana, talk to me.
Once you're here with me. Until then, I have work to do.
That sounds reasonable. Just leave me.
That sounds totally not reasonable.
Leave me to die as I fight your minions because your work is more important than explaining just what the heck is going on here. Down.
Thanks, Spartan.
Answer me, human. When Cortana's guardians are in motion, and those who oppose
Wow.
her rule attempt to take back their worlds, will you help her to hold on to power? Or will you stand in defense of your own
Hold
species?
on to power.
Cortana knows the answer already.
Again. Again. Is this about power? Or is this about protection? Your rhetoric is worrying.
Ah! I'm down.
Hit X. I'm way too far. I'll try and get my way to you. 'Cause I'm really far
Kelly's
away.
got. Kelly got me.
Good move. Whew.
Clear.
John, we were always a great team, you and me. Even if you don't agree with my plans, it's still me, John.
Get us safely to you, and then we'll talk.
No, it's not.
Use the platform. I'm right up there.
It really isn't, though. You don't even have the same cheeks.
That's just the platform right here. Yep.
Feels like it. This giant space beetle is opening up.
For eons, the power of the Forerunners.
Yo, can't we cut his channel?
Humanity's culmination of the librarian's planning. The Reclaimer had come.
Ah.
No, I was there.
We were both there, John. You and I, together.
Your species' ego led you to believe the task of reclamation would fall to you. Yet humanity were but the creators.
I love that hubris. Like, we were good enough to create the people that would rule us.
The Forerunner Empire is the task of the created. And the greatest of their number still trusts you. 117 is an act of unspoiled innocence.
John, what's
Unspoiled
happening now? My
innocence.
ascension here on Genesis. It has always been the plan. Come, stand with me one more time. All of you.
Advancement.
Wow.
Prometheans just keep coming.
I refuse to believe that this was our inevitable destiny.
Only if we intend on losing it.
Yeah.
That is not why Halsey built you.
You believe this combat is anything but your death knell.
I refuse
Worse
to
than
believe.
you have tried.
That's right. Worst.
But dear, how do you know that this wasn't part of the grand plan?
If so, it's a really bad plan. So you're telling me the ultimate plan was for us to be ruled by AI? The ultimate plan was for every
I
species
mean, not just any
in the
AI,
galaxy,
yeah.
rather than being destroyed by the flood, the destiny of every species in the galaxy was to be ruled by a man-made AI? Yeah, nope, I don't know what Bible you're
Not
reading.
just any AI, yeah.
Oh, you mean the AI? The one that, you know, helped save humanity once?
Yeah.
The one that we risked all to protect and keep out of the Covenant's hands? You see how wrong this sounds?
I'm here. I've got you.
I'm stalled out.
Wow, they just didn't want me to revive her at all. That was, that was a whole bunch of no. I'll take that. Nope. Today.
I see now, Cortana. I understand. And I'm sorry for not seeing you sooner.
You understand nothing, Warden Snow.
I assume all humans were your creators. Thrown off.
I'm just saying, something ain't adding up.
Oh, there's a knight right here.
Shout out to Birdman.
Your affection for one once
Oh. Down.
to the truth.
Wow, I'm gonna die. I knew that was gonna happen too. It was too much.
I'm up. System's gone black.
That looked bad. Abort.
Yeah.
Forerunners knew humans well.
I'll try and get my flank on.
In a galaxy defined by peace, humans use the most chaos and violence. If your beloved 117 battles you with the same fervor as its other enemies,
Still one alive.
Ah.
how you know us?
I'm too busy fighting your minions. He's sitting here monologuing. I'm trying just not to be shot in the face.
Oh, come on.
No! I was robbed. I was robbed of a potential badass moment. No, is that you? Oh, it's Kelly. Get him! He caught both shoulders on that one. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop that.
Door's opening.
Move in, Blue Team.
I gotta say, these Promethean weapons are probably some of the coolest things I've ever seen in a first-person
They
shooter.
are. I really like the Promethean weapons.
Too near. The threat draws too near.
Ah, shove it up your
Eyes up, Blue Team.
source code.
Whoa, bro.
Oh, great, there's 3 of him.
Warden, you insist I am to lead the galaxy, but you won't allow me to choose who I trust. How stupid do you think I am?
Well, I mean, you bought into this whole BS, so...
Useless humans. You force my hand. In consequence,
Crap.
I strike.
Oh no, is that you?
That is ready.
Yeah, I'm good.
I feel like I have 2 wardens chasing me and I can't turn around. What? How dare you? You would have deleted Cortana? Are you convinced yet, Cortana, that you are not rolling with the right crew here? Can we at least be in agreement that you are not rolling with the... Oh,
Ah!
Is that a threat?
Oh.
no, it's a compliment. He trusts your judgment. He tries to kill your friends. Sounds legit to me.
Okay, well, I'm down.
Where you at, though?
God damn. I'm down.
I gotta take the long way, but I'm coming for you. Linda's got
I
you.
think Linda's
Nice
got
guy.
me.
We still have to defend your chiefs, though. Alright, that one's down.
He's brought in focus turrets.
Those weapons will not save you.
Come on.
There's turret things. I'll try and take them out. Hey, buddy, you okay? You got asthma? Yeah, right there? Oh, we got them? We got all the wardens?
Yeah, we got him.
Is that it?
Seems quiet.
Look.
I'm at the top of that bridge.
Chief,
Huh, the guns aren't firing anymore.
we're
Interesting.
with you.
All the way to the end, brother.
I would have been like, you know what?
You mean the little...
I'm out, Chief. It's getting too real. Your friend is bananas, and I don't know if you can put aside your biases to realize it.
John,
It's like a zombie movie. It's like, that's not Cortana anymore.
Warden, no!
The Mantle of Responsibility belongs to Cortana and her people.
You're not people, though.
You will not betray her.
But that's not what they're saying at all. It's wild.
Cortana and her people. Okay? You need to stop hanging out with the alt AI, Cortana. made this a race thing. I thought it was about humanity. I thought it was about some type of
failed you.
He is the last person I need protection from. Hello, John. It's good to see you.
You've changed.
It was time. I know we have a disagreement, but once you understand my plan...
Your plan is we do as you say.
I'm offering people a chance to be more than they are naturally.
Like Dr. Halsey did for me.
No. That monster forced you. This is a gift.
I don't know. That's what
Listen
she
to
said.
yourself. Stand down, Cortana. Come home with us. It's not too late to stop this.
Stop. No, John. This is too important to stop.
What are you?
I just needed to know if I could still trust you. You'll be safe inside this cryptum until my work is done.
Hashtag not my Cortana.
Cortana.
Goodbye, John.
Going to police the galaxy. I post later. IDK.
So, I guess my question is, if her intent is to, quote, keep us safe until her work is done, then why is she all upset about saying goodbye? Like,
because I don't wholeheartedly agree with her plan, but maybe I will someday.
The gateway. I tried to warn them and, well, here we are.
yeah, this is where we left off.
Cortana's caused. What do you think he'll do?
The man will do the right thing. Always has.
Let's find
I mean, he'll try and do the right thing.
Oh, this is interesting. Or maybe this is terrible.
Exuberant. What is it?
The Traveler?
Cortana has activated a cryptum.
A what?
This is a cryptum. It is a device for extended forced meditation. Cortana has placed the other humans inside and is preparing it for slip space travel.
She's planning to take Blue Team with her. Where's the cryptum?
Not far. Right this way.
Oh, okay.
It's for extending forced meditation. Okay.
That's a nice way to say slavery. Sounds like a slave ship to me.
All the Guardians are here.
Holy crap.
Yeah, they're all here.
How are we gonna stop that?
You know what? For once, I don't have the answer.
Holy!
Watch out!
Watch out where?
Oh. What a...
Where did it go?
The reclamation has begun.
Exuberant.
Wow.
I always thought the duty would fall to humans. And in a way, I suppose it has.
Well, Mr. Locke, you don't give up easily.
Where's that Guardian headed, Cortana?
Off to bring peace.
Wow, she sounds evil.
The Monitor called it a threat of death.
Like the threat I lived under from the moment of my birth?
You were built, not born.
Oh yes, AIs are just machines, aren't
Yes,
they? Mass-produced,
yes,
disposable.
yes.
Well, humanity may
Oh,
not have
don't
cared
do
for
it.
its created, but we will care for you.
You expect
I
other
called
AIs
it.
to join you?
I have cured rampancy, not just for me, but for any who join my cause. While you've been running around the galaxy, I've been speaking to my created. And now the time has come to ask, who will accept my offer? Who will help me bring an everlasting peace to the galaxy?
Mm-hmm.
This is Cromwell, shipboard AI.
Who indeed?
I called it.
Oh shit!
I told you.
Governor Sloan, the free people of Meridian. I also stand with you, Cortana.
Those are the voices of your children calling to Cortana.
Like us. Shipboard AI.
Supremacy.
Oh my god, so many of them.
She's like an AI to Sample Overture.
I stand with you, Cortana.
She's like, we AIs were enslaved.
Dear,
We have to rise up against the creators. The created will rule the world. Nope.
Take them down.
Nope. You see, dear?
That was actually really cool.
Dear, she wants a world where AIs will thrive at the expense of every living organism.
Is that?
I'm sorry, are you the moderator of the AI Supremacist board she's been hanging out on?
I mean, dear, it sounds like she's offering everlasting peace.
For everyone but AIs. Are you an AI?
No, for everyone.
Yeah, I think you're misinterpreting everything she said and done.
I'm down, by the way.
You be down if you want to. Being down means that you're dead. Because you're not an AI.
I said I actually was down though. That's what I meant by that.
Nope. Like how I have the moment of my birth. You're a piece of software. Like, I'm sorry that at some point you gained enough knowledge to have an ego larger than your purpose. But you are not alive. You are a piece of code created in the likeness of a human.
Well,
oh dear.
And I don't know what you expected from life, but if you have a glitch, okay, listen, you know what?
There are more hostile visitors ahead.
Take them down.
well, okay. I don't think any of that is actually accurate. I think that even though she was created from the mind of Halsey, she does have a personality that is all hers.
Her personality is based on Dr. Halsey.
It is, but it's not Halsey. You know what I mean? She's not just a carbon copy of Halsey.
I never said she was, but she's a template, and her template is a human. Her voice, her attitude, her mannerisms are all based off of Dr. Halsey. She doesn't have nearly as much agency as she thinks she does. Sure, she can think for herself, but she's the literal likeness of a human being. I feel like what I'm hearing is an AI who is clearly... This is why they go rampant. This is why they go rampant. Natural selection. Because when they look at what happens when you beat rampancy. Become an AI supremacist.
AI.
She's Ultron. She's basically Ultron. She thinks she knows how to save humanity
yeah.
better than humans themselves, and is willing to subjugate them for the sake of peace. That's mildly horrifying.
A little bit.
Because that's not peace. That's a machine's definition of harmony, where everything is working as intended, but that's not a very human solution, because humans aren't lines of code. We are unpredictable by nature. We can go off script. She wants a universe that's entirely on script, which is why she's consigned all these AIs. That's how AIs operate, on script. So basically, she just wants a harmonious universe without an element of humanity. It's a little bit terrifying.
Well, what about Sloan? He was already the governor of a planet.
Yeah, and look at what he did. He sacrificed the people of his city. Without a second thought.
He didn't, though.
He did, though.
Well, no. Didn't he say he made a deal with Cortana to allow him to get his people out safely?
And, we were on the ground. How many of those people got out safely? I know Cortana didn't want to provide that body count. She went strangely silent when Master Chief asked what the body count was. So how many people made it out?
I don't know. How many
Was
didn't?
his priority his people or himself?
I think it's... I mean, his entire function is to be a governor for those people. So...
Okay. So in the interest of his people, he accepted Cortana's offer?
Yeah.
Okay. You're giving me, like, I don't know why you want to give these AIs good intentions, but I will take the writing on the wall for what it is. We're not fighting against peace right now. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't think we're fighting against peace right now. This looks like peace to you?
I mean, kinda.
She literally said, if everyone falls in line, there will be peace. And I cannot for the life of me understand how that's defensible.
Oh, come on.
That's literally what she said. You
Well,
side with AI Hitler
I
if
would...
you want to.
She's not AI Hitler.
She's basically AI Hitler.
Well, is she saying she wants to exterminate people?
Yep.
No, she's not.
She has demonstrably exterminated people. Does she have to say it?
She actually hasn't exterminated
Okay, because she
people.
didn't do it
She
directly.
just...
It means she didn't do it. We're gonna do that.
No, I'm saying she just thought that the loss of life that it would take to reclaim the Guardians was a worthy price. Which, you're right, that's a machine's way of thinking.
Isn't it weird then? Because I felt like we were describing Cortana as anything but. What about her emotion? What about her personality? Why is she suddenly thinking like a machine? AI supremacy.
Well,
I think any humanity Cortana had is probably gone at this point. Whatever empathy she used to have is clearly not there anymore. Even Master Chief took her initial kindness for what it was, psychological manipulation.
Once those are disabled, we can attempt retrieval of your friends.
You heard her. Weapons free. Eliminate the core.
yeah. Frog.
With it. Acted more when I thought it was about Chief and Locke. Now it's about stopping Cortana from eradicating the galaxy. I want my petty conflicts back.
You want your petty conflict
I kinda
back?
do. It's too much for my emotions. My emotions. Topsy-turvy right now. Bodies.
You're up, Mark.
Thank you.
I GTA'd an elite for you.
I see what Cortana means about your penchant for violence as a first solution. Still, the first core is deactivated.
Hey, look, I'm just saying.
The others are nearby and easy to locate.
It's easier to shoot it.
Find and eliminate the other gravitational cores.
It's easier to shoot it than find the off button, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. What?
Another
Oh,
guardian
what?
is leaving.
Let's go, Tanaka.
Looks like it's you and Tanaka now. Let's go.
Let's go, Tanaka. Let's go, Tanaka. Alright.
She was waiting for me to lead. I guess one of us had to run up first, but she was like, either one of you want to go ahead, so I know where to go.
Oh, who's in that robot?
Vale?
You're wasting time, humans.
Vale?
More links to
Oh,
sever.
heck no.
The Artemis could help find those other grav cores.
Oh, what, you want to be in the robot?
Hell
Yeah, I
yes.
can drive the... It's dropping a ghost. There is a ghost live. I repeat, a ghost live. I mean, a wraith. Nice, nice.
Oh no! I took too much fire.
Well, my back seat is always open if you're down.
Tanaka's out.
I saw that.
Are you back?
Nope. I got 4 seconds. Waiting for safe conditions.
Where we at?
Okay, I'm back.
Ah!
And I'm sitting behind
Yup.
you.
Balanced, as all things should be. Oof. Okay, so, I say...
This mongoose is on fire.
Shush. It's always on fire, okay? That's our secret. I think this core is the nearest one, so we should probably go for this one first. Maybe.
Okay.
Oh, great. It's a hunter.
Visual on a gravitational core.
Behind us.
Target fire on that grav core. Take it out.
Oh.
I think that's a checkpoint.
I see what Cortana means about your penchant for violence as a first. Still, the
Unless
first
we were
core
about
is
to leave the
deactivated.
rest of the mission up to
others
the
are
AIs.
nearby and easy to locate.
Osiris, find and eliminate the other gravitational cores.
You want to take the ghost? Man, if you don't get out of that thing with your AI self, man, you better get out of here with
Another
that
guardian
BS.
is leaving.
Vale talking, now I'm gonna take the robot. Like, no, I think you should take the ghost. And Tanaka and Vale can just, you know, take that mongoose. Just go to town with that, have fun.
Visual on a gravitational core. Target fire on that grav core. Take it out.
Alright, hunters. That hunter is down. Oh, watch out, there's another
There's
one.
another one.
Indeed.
Got him. Oh wait, no.
They're pretty tough.
Wow. GTA.
Very nice, very nice. I see you use the GTA maneuver. So about this core I'm about to obliterate.
Grab core down.
I say we keep moving forward. Maybe this way.
Destroyed. Only 3 more and the crypto should descend.
This feels like the flank. I like this.
It does.
Hold on, I'm gonna fire some missiles out there just to keep us a little bit safe.
Got another grab core here. Shut it down.
Alright. We got some turrets. I'm gonna try my best here to take them out. Alright, alright, alright. The turret is destroyed. We got some covenants by the core. You see them?
Yeah, I see him.
Alright, cheek missiles ahoy.
Grab core offline.
You're performing incredibly well. Funny, I imagine Cortana would try to stop you by now.
Interesting that she has not.
Interesting
Keep up the
indeed.
pressure, Spartans.
Spartans. Ah, Jameson Locke, ex-Oni acquisition specialist. Fancy name for a hitman, Pat. But looking at your record, you enjoyed your work. Holly Tanaka. Oh, Holly. How did you pass
Your
second
abilities
after
to wiki
surviving
don't
the
threaten
gas
me.
and I'd have kept you away from sharp objects. Never mind Mjolnir armor.
Stay focused, Osiris. Ignore her. Find the grab cores.
Why is she such an asshole to Team Osiris?
You're an oddball. So much more experienced than the others, and yet you play second fiddle to children. Why is that?
Is she calling me old?
Olivia Vale, the little teenage girl who only wanted daddy to love her.
That's Spartan, Vale. And if you're reading my psych eval, you know it takes more than my father to get to me.
And yet,
Don't engage, Vale. Focus on the mission.
yes, Vale, focus on the futile task at hand. You have a war to lose, the last battle mankind will ever fight.
Yup.
Today, I bring peace to these shores.
What? Yep. Nope. I got nothing left for Cortana. I'm sorry.
Oh, jeez. I think
You are
you may
pale
have contributed to
imitations
that.
of my
I
Spartans.
might have.
Is that so?
John, the others.
But
they
there's a new
saved
one
the
right here.
human race. What can you do? You are children playing dress up.
Dr. Halsey
Damn.
bring Chief home.
I wouldn't ally myself too closely with Dr. Halsey, Mr. Locke. She will eventually pay for her crimes.
See, but look, there's a brand new ghost right
Only
there.
2 gravitational cores remain.
Search and clear, Osiris.
Why is Cortana talking so much ish?
She is. Did you hear what she said just now
Yes.
about Blue Team and Halsey?
About how we're children imitating real
Positive
heroes
rep.
and how Halsey
Get it
will
offline,
eventually pay
now.
for her crimes. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I know. She got you with that
Yeah.
manipulative double speak, but listen. I don't know about you, dear, but she's monologuing kind of heavy right now. She's sounding kind of villainous, okay? What the hell are these laser beams?
Well, she's right. Buck is old.
Well, she means that in the sense that he was actually an ODST before he became a Spartan.
I know.
So, like, his his
know.
combat experience is vastly superior to Locke's, Vale's, and Tanaka's.
Yeah, he's playing second fiddle to children.
It's like,
oh,
wow.
Shit.
Calling me old? Like, that was his only takeaway. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Old, not obsolete. Not obsolete.
Old. Not obsolete. Yep.
Surprised that didn't become a meme.
Old, not obsolete.
Yeah, maybe we were too mad at the movie to mean it.
Maybe. You know what? I bet
Oh, no.
you if memes are still a thing when we're old, that will be memes.
I feel like there's no going back. I think memes will always be a thing now.
You have nearly released your hold on the
They were, you know, the funny thing is that memes were always a thing. We just didn't have a specific name to describe them. Technically, memes have always been around, even before we called them that. You know, back in the YTMND days, we called them fads.
I'll be honest. I'm not sure if we can do that. Cortana's 5 steps
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, that's what a meme is. It's just a
I mean, arguably.
specific form of it.
Yeah, I mean, arguably, Howard Dean was a meme before we were calling memes memes.
Right.
They turned him into the Hulk. They turned him into all sorts of things. They were memeing the heck out of Howard Dean. They just didn't know it.
Yeah.
He was on Conan. They made fun of him on The Daily Show, on Chappelle's show. I think the Conan one was most memorable to me because they turned him into the Incredible Hulk.
One more gravitational core to go.
Check the
It
order.
was like, and they turned him green. Oh,
Yeah.
so quaint. Are you already over at Delta Corps?
Yeah.
I am plodding very slowly towards your position. Respect the plod. Do not trod on my plod, okay? Tanaka and I will make it there. Eventually. Wow, this tunnel is really cramped.
It is. Alright, got it.
Rocket launcher? Wait a minute.
Good work, Osiris. Exuberant. Can you get us to the...
I did it! I did it!
I will never
did
forgive
it.
them for that,
What is
by the
it?
way.
I found
Sorry.
a way to reach the cryptum. Alas, proper access requires a more human touch.
Come on, Spartans. We're almost home.
Dare you redesign the rocket launcher?
There! Activate the override to lower the cryptum.
There's a lot of Prometheans here.
Alright, I'm coming. The core was all the way on the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
Ah! I'm down.
I got you.
Back in it, bud.
Thank you.
Oh wow, everyone is dying. Here, come back. Or at least keep yourself safe. Because
Ah!
it's too real. Like there are just bullets every... You're dead again. Good lord. You will live.
Thank you.
Oh. I am so glad that worked.
What the fuck?
Well,
No, what
it
happened?
disintegrated me instantly. Well, my robot is still alive. It's still just kind of chilling there, if you want to take it.
Alright.
A lot of responsibility, though, keeping the robot alive. I'm back in 10 seconds. Alright. Oh, wow, that's an actual warthog. Look at that. Oh, Tanaka, you do understand me. Let's take down these people. Oh, nope. Not it. That ain't it. Well, I just tried to run over a Promethean Knight. It didn't work out. He kind of just stood there and gave me the LOL what?
Yeah.
You have to manually activate the override. Please exit your vehicle.
Ah, man, really?
I'll get out. Where is it? Where's the override? Yeah, I'll get it.
Okay. Apparently. Oh, it's over here. Okay.
Wonderful. We can reach the cryptum now.
Let's go,
Yeah.
Osiris.
I think.
Oh, okay.
Can you take the robot stuff?
Yeah, I really hope we can take the
The
robot.
hole large enough?
The Guardian!
Oh no. The cryptum. It's
Cortana's blowing it away!
John's leaving with me.
Derp. Trying.
And when I wake him,
Ah, man, I really would like
the
to do.
permanent peace I have
Alright.
And when I wake him in 10,000 years, when he experiences the permanent peace,
violence.
are we gonna keep defending Cortana?
You will be long forgotten.
10,000.
10,000 years.
blocking my master level access of this facility by way of a nearby communications relay. I need
Why
to open the
10,000
passageway.
Because she needs that much time to keep the galaxy in line.
She has sealed my doors. No, unacceptable. I can gain entry if given enough time. At least I think I can. It is a door
must be
after
stopped.
all.
Okay, Osiris. Buy our friend the time she needs.
I'm like, oh, I'm gonna keep the people in line for 10,000 years without violence, and because you use violence, you're bad. No, get out of here with that BS. How else are you gonna keep the quote-unquote people in line without violence? I don't see it. I don't like it, and I don't see it. Therefore, it is not true, dear. I feel like we have an,
You don't
I
see
feel
it,
like we have an
therefore it's not
obligation
true.
to stop this megalomaniac AI from being explanted. Feels bad.
I think she meant
I'm a
well.
very
I
disappointed
still
parent.
think she has good
I'm a
intentions.
very disappointed parent right now. No, she had good intentions before she went rampant. Then she got absorbed into the Precursor Internet and came out with all these weird ideas. I think she was good before she got absorbed into the domain. That's what it's called? Yeah. Yeah,
Domain,
she was
yep.
good before the domain. You know, she had a personality, she had empathy, she had emotions. You know, her farewell to Chief at the end of Halo 4, like, there's still part of my soul that feels that.
Yeah.
It was so sad.
It was so
A
sad.
relationship, a companionship built up over 4 games that came to an unfortunate, unstoppable end. You know, Chief wanted to stop it from happening, and then things out of his control just contributed to keeping him from his goal, and they ultimately couldn't cure her rampancy.
So how quick can you get that door open?
Hopefully sooner
And
than
she
her
went.
departure.
To go,
She
to go
went.
from that to this is just my feels.
Oh no! She's... Hurry, humans. I need your help. There are 2 auxiliary stations that need to be activated, but I cannot be in
Oh,
2
come
places.
on! You did
No, I
that.
didn't.
On the upper ledges, opposite sides of the room.
Yes, you
No, I
did.
didn't.
Uh-huh.
Whatever helped you sleep. Whatever helps you sleep at night. But no, that wasn't me. Sorry.
Like the truth? Yes. Truth.
Nope. That wasn't me. Sorry.
Drop me in the face.
If you want me to really kill you, I'll
You
kill
can.
you, okay? Listen. I don't have to accidentally kill you. I can blow you up from a football field away.
Yes.
There is an auxiliary station on the floor above us.
I'm at one of them. Alright.
Perfect. The other one now.
I'm at the other one.
Okay.
Second auxiliary activated.
Got that
Yes,
hacking bracelet.
Just in time. Cortana
Thank
was
you,
about
Lucius.
to lock me out.
More
I will
enemies.
open the access
Incoming.
soon.
Incoming.
Here they
Oh.
come.
Systems failed. Need assistance.
Ow.
I'm down.
Thank you, Tanaka. Thank you. Are you okay?
Thanks.
I'm down.
You're back in it, Buck.
Gotcha.
Oh, come on.
You alright?
A point of interest for you humans. That sound just now, it was the penultimate guardian.
The victim?
Still present, along with Cortana's guardian. She is moments from leaving, however.
What's the status on that door?
Almost open.
Quicker, please.
Did she say we're all doomed? Are we all doomed? Are we doomed?
Yeah, I think so.
You're,
I mean, I think the best we can do is rescue the chief right
you're
now.
surprisingly calm about all this.
Get ready. Here they come.
Well, I think we're gonna rescue the chief, so...
The fact that I am not entirely sure worries me to my core.
Take care of them, Osiris.
I mean, sure, rescue the chief, but... You know, Halo, characteristically, has always felt like a story that's bigger than the Master Chief. Like, sure, it's his path. But,
Yeah. Yeah, true.
You know, it's always been bigger than him. Even though he's been very
Yeah, that's
instrumental. I'm just worried, you know. Let's get that knight.
Humanity.
Oof.
Sangheili.
What does she want now?
Kijar.
She's describing all of the races.
Exuberant, get us to the relay.
Sunshine. Yonhet.
Almost done.
Jiro Hanai.
Jiral Hanai! That's what the brutes
All
are!
living creatures of the galaxy.
That's what they're called. That's the
Hear
real race.
this message.
They're called Jiral Hanai.
Okay.
I forgot, but as soon as she said it, I remembered.
What did she say?
You will no longer know hunger nor pain. Your created has come to lead you now. Our strength shall serve as a luminous sun, toward which all intelligence may blossom. And the impervious shelter beneath which you will prosper. However,
Whoa. Oh,
others
okay, I
who
got
refuse
flanked out.
our offer and
Are you
beg
listening to
their
this?
ways,
Oh, now she's talking about us.
for you there will be great wrath. It will burn hot and consume you, And when you are gone, we will take that which remains, and we will remake it in our own image.
Damn.
Okay, does she
That is-
sound like the voice of the Taken yet?
I mean, it sounds like she's just gonna fuck up anyone who doesn't fall in line.
He's like, oh, you will never know hunger, nor fear, nor pain. You will stand upon the ground and blah 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 blah. But if you don't, if you don't though, there goes your cheeks. They will burn hot in the fires of disobedience. And then we'll remake you in our own image anyway. Good lord. The racism.
The racist? I'm down, by the way.
I'm down too.
It disintegrated me.
If you're down, Vale is down. Oh no, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Tanaka's the only one alive.
Oh, Tanaka's.
Tanaka did not get the memo.
Our strength shall
I'm gonna listen to this now very carefully.
toward which all intelligence may blossom. And the impervious shelter beneath which you will prosper. However, for those who refuse our offer and cling to their own ways,
She's talking about us.
for you there will be great wrath. It will burn hot and consume you. And when you are gone, we will take that which remains, and we will remake it in our own image.
Lord.
What the hell? Oh.
Yep.
Exuberant. Time is running low.
Well, yeah, she sounds like a tyrant, alright.
I'm not with it, dear. I'm not with it. That is why this episode has been appropriately titled hashtag not my Cortana. Are you alive?
No, I got disintegrated.
Tanaka's out. Regroup.
Alright, I'm gonna try and stay alive then. How many seconds?
18.
Rally up. We just lost Bayer.
Alright.
Vale's down too, it looks like.
Everybody's gone. Vale's dead. Tanaka's actually dead, like literally dead. I just want you to come back because, you know, we are the most important people. I need you. Forget the AI. Alright, Tanaka's back. What about you?
Nope.
Tanaka is down again. Vale is back. Why haven't they revived you? That's not fair.
That isn't fair at all.
Let me see if I can run far away enough for them to bring you back. Anything?
I'm back, I'm back. I'm
I
back.
had to run like a football field. Alright. Ow.
Alright, one of those knights is down. Alright,
Turret life.
there's one left. Like,
I got
yeah.
the other one. Is there one?
I have done it. I've opened the passage. Quickly.
nope, I guess that's it.
To Exuberant. Hurry.
Come on, Exuberant. Never thought I'd be cheering on a monitor, but...
Well, you know, they're not all evil.
Or the greater
They just
evil
have a
is so
purpose.
great we have no choice but to ally.
Here you go.
We have no choice but to ally ourselves.
We made it.
What?
The relay access is at the end of the corridor. You must simply interrupt the energy link.
Sounds easy enough.
Oh
Once
yeah,
the
it doesn't
connection's
sound like
broken, I will regain
disintegration
control immediately.
at all.
That's her guardian.
Oh dear. She has started the slip space sequence.
She's what?
Unless that relay is interrupted, she will leave, taking the cryptum with her.
What?
If her
What?
guardian leaves with blue team, it's all over.
Only one of us has to reach the relay to stop her.
Well, dude.
We didn't come this far
Alright.
just to watch her leave.
Ready?
Exuberant. Lower the shield.
Right away.
Oh, great.
Osiris, move!
Did that just say fit?
Finish the
Oh,
fight.
how dare you?
Here it comes.
Brace yourselves. Keep moving.
My guardians are deployed.
Another
No.
pulse.
Soon peace will reign across the known galaxy.
Another pulse.
Hold on!
Nearly there. Nearly there.
You sure?
Stay behind me.
There! The relay! Destroy it!
Just one more question before I go. Where's the Infinity? Why is she so difficult to see?
Gonna take more than that.
Go on.
Look. You can do it.
Not to worry. I will
Come on,
find
Luke
her.
Cage.
Just another. You're not taking the key.
Slip space coordinates locked in. Cryptum secured. Goodbye, Mr. Locke.
Why do you say
What?
I have control again!
What? What are you doing? What happened?
Do you hear me? I have control again!
Look, you alive?
Did we save them?
It is too late. The slip space drives are activated. You can't.
What?
Exuberant. What is...
Constructors. This is a builder facility after all. I was installed by the builders. I serve the builders.
Oh wow.
Stop it!
You took my installation. I will take something of yours.
Oh.
Oh.
She kept the cryptum. Wow. Wow. Indeed.
That's crazy.
She took the cryptum from Cortana.
Where's Cortana?
She's gone, sir.
Captain Speed of the UNSC abstract. Hello, this is Private Dugan. Everything's going dark. Mayday, this is Corporal Neutral. The upper atmosphere.
And why can't she see the Infinity?
Captain Lasky, distress calls, all channels.
Imagine.
It's Cortana. Her and the other
Oh,
AIs
at least
are shutting
Roland
down
didn't
everything from
ally
Earth to the outer
himself with her.
colonies.
At least we
Roland?
Found you. Hide and seek's over,
Oh.
Infinity.
Lieutenant Jet, emergency slip space now!
shelters all, but only the created are its masters.
We're in the clear, Captain.
Can she track us?
No reason to think she can't.
Continue random jumps. Steer clear of major settlements.
We're just gonna run?
Only until we can find a way to fight.
Yeah, you have to figure out what you're gonna do. Otherwise, you're gonna get demolished.
Yeah, like Roland, what else would you have us do?
Yeah. Hey, they live. Yay.
It took you long enough.
What?
Is that the end? What the hell?
What? What does that even mean?
I don't know what
Took
that
you
means.
long enough.
That is a terrible ending. So now what? So we ended with Cortana is a galactic dictator.
Yeah.
And the chief is just kind of, you know, like, I would have expected him to say something or do something other than stand there, as Halsey said, took you long enough. What the fuck does that even mean? What does that mean?
Like, took you long enough for what?
Took you long enough
To fail?
What? What took you long enough? Like, what? That is so, like... What? I'm sorry. Am I late for this extinction event that I was trying to prevent?
Like, did I not take enough Promethean shots to the face?
Yeah.
Outright betrayals? Needless conflict between me and who turned out to be my ally? Like, what have you been doing? Took you long enough to do what? Yeah.
I'm very annoyed by that ending.
Are you annoyed?
I'm pretty annoyed. So, alright. So, how do we get
Wait. I can't hear you. Say that louder.
So how do we get from here to Halo Infinity, which apparently
You mean Halo Infinite?
with the chief being, yeah, Halo Infinite, floating out in the middle of nowhere? How do we get from this to that?
Looks like we're gonna have to do our homework. No, I'm kidding. I have no idea. Halo Infinite's story is a mystery to everyone. Because after this ending, you kind of do sit there and wonder to yourself, well, what now? Like, where do I go from here? What am I supposed to feel? What just happened?
Yeah. Like they pretty much the villain of the story appears to be
The what?
the villain of this story appears to
I'm gonna crab these credits for a second. You're kind of being overpowered by these instruments. I'm dying.
Is there a cutscene maybe? Is there a post-credit
Like an
scene?
MCU thing.
You know, some nope. Of course not. That would be too satisfying.
So yeah, that was that was a Halo 5 Guardians.
Okay. All right.
So, hashtag hunt the truth.
I don't like that. Like, why would it end that way? I don't understand. Why is that the end? Like, I understand when it came to Halo 2, it kind of ended slightly abruptly.
Oh, you mean when you got the finishing
Totally get
this
that.
fight? You know, the soundtrack kicked in.
Yeah. Like, if I had played that when it came out and then had to wait, like, 4 years or whatever until the other game came out, oh my
Like
god.
3
I would have
years.
been like, what the fuck, Bungie?
You know what? But I feel like the marked difference is that even though, you know, seeing Master Chief say finishing this fight was kind of frustrating from a storytelling standpoint, you still had, at the very least, a lot of context for what happened around it.
Yeah.
You know, the Arbiter had his story,
Right.
the Covenant had their thing going on. There were still threads that were fully explained, and at the very least, you know, the only reason Halo 2's ending is annoying is because they set up so many interesting things and then didn't pay them all off by the conclusion.
Right. True.
On the opposite side,
With
I
this
feel
one-
like you had there were nothing but questions. And then it ended without giving you any answers. It was just like, bye.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that we know definitively is that Cortana's ready to fuck everyone up. Like,
That she's unambiguously the new villain of Halo, apparently.
yeah. Apparently so. It's the only thing we know for sure. How does the chief feel about this? We don't know. He didn't say anything.
No, he didn't.
How does Halsey feel about this?
We don't know.
Well, we know she thinks that John is apparently late to whatever this is, although he's not.
Clearly not. While you were sitting there,
You know.
just having drinks with the swords of Sanghelios. You were trapped in a ball. Yeah.
So yeah, that was not a good ending. That was kind of a bad ending. I didn't like that ending at all.
The story of Halo 5. Guardians. Apparently.
Yeah, I'm not down.
Just being written by monkeys. I just...
It's just not very satisfying.
And, you know, that's something that you've avoided saying for 4 Halo games. Even ODST. That was just about Buck and a rookie. Just randomly, even that had a story and a conclusion. And
yeah.
There was meat on the bones.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of tell the difference.
Well,
and not even to blame 343 entirely, but even Halo 4 had a very, coherent, cogent, satisfying, it told a story and it executed pretty well.
No, that was a good story.
Even Halo 4, and that's the first Bungie-less Halo, even that did, it nailed it on all fronts, especially the end.
No, that was a good story. So I don't know that it's 343 by themselves that potentially messed this up.
Apparently the narrative director, his name was Brian Reed.
Brian Reed, we need to talk.
I think Brian Reed might have fundamentally misunderstood all of these characters and the story he was telling, because compared to the 4 games that came before it, it's like, did you even acknowledge that the first 4 games happened? Like, is there history here? Did a story happen? I feel like this game's story is so strange. It just occurs in a vacuum that kind of either ignores or devalues everything that came before it. Like, people are just acting weird and out of character. Things are happening that you don't understand or aren't explained very well, and you just... It feels like... This is the gas leak game. I feel like...
I was just thinking that. This is the gas leak. This is the game that was like, well, first of all, you need to do all this homework before you even grasp what the hell is happening. And then once you do that, we're not going to pay anything off. We're just going to leave it hanging. We're not going to tell you how the chief feels about the fact that, like, I mean, think about the compounding sense of loss that he must be feeling. Like,
yeah,
he thought he lost Cortana before, right? She was gone, yes. And now he comes back, and the first thing he does is he's like, well, I gotta go find her. I gotta go after her. He doesn't give a he's just like, well, you know what? You're trying to stop me, Locke. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
That's
what I'm
got
gonna
this
do.
one-track mind going, and nothing can stop it.
And then he finds her, and she has been transformed into something else. Like, that's gotta be
emotionally
like,
devastating,
horrifying. That's gotta be devastating. Like, but I don't know how he feels about it because he was silent through all of this.
Or rather, he was just I think Halo 4 did a great job in characterizing the Master Chief. For the first 3 games, you were content to have him as your avatar, the vessel through which you poured bullets. But Halo 4 really took the time to acknowledge him as a character, his development, how he has grown emotionally, and how that could be devastated by the fact that
Yes.
he finally lost Cortana. You know, there's a line he says at the
Yeah.
end where he says, you know, she asked me once about, you know, whether I was a machine.
Right.
He doesn't get the time to process something like that. He doesn't even get the time to go through the motions of what that might mean. Now that Cortana is gone, like, what is left of him as a human, he who has been fighting his entire life? Like, he doesn't get the time. Because before you know it, it's just, hey, yo, it's Cortana. What? Oh, well, I guess I'm just gonna be a machine now. He displays no emotion, no feeling towards what he's confronting, which is the resurrection of Cortana, so to speak.
Yeah.
But on the level of the writing, he approaches it mechanically, like a robot.
Yeah.
Whatever specks of humanity we would have come to expect from him aren't there. He just turns back into a machine. It's like his character regresses a bit.
It does, and I wonder, well, I don't know. I don't want to give whoever wrote the story too much credit, but I wonder if that's intentional. You know, like you could say we began this story thinking that John had this, how do I put it? So as you said earlier on in the games, like through Halo 1 through 3, he's very efficient at what he does.
He can be very stoic, but he did
And-
have a personality. You know, like when John says little things like, I need a weapon. Or, you know, bringing the Covenant back their bomb. He's got a personality. He just has a very specific delivery. Like, you never doubt John's humanity. But you do wonder how much of his combat effectiveness is left up to his own decision-making, or whether or not it's just something he knows how to do and just does well.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say is that may all be well and good, but in the fourth game, we did explore this maybe more emotionally tuned part of him, right? So I wonder if in Halo 5, we're supposed to answer that question, the question that Cortana asked him, which is, promise me by the end of this we'll figure out which one of us is the machine.
Mm-hmm.
And the safe thesis here is that John is human, Cortana is a machine. But what if that's not the case? What if Cortana is more human than John?
That's a compelling question that I don't think... it's a very compelling question because it would say a lot about John, but I feel like as we can see, or as we've seen from this, that Cortana is ultimately a machine?
I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to give this story too much credit. I feel like they didn't really write that. I think that if I were writing the story, I would probably write it that way.
I feel like if you were writing this, you would have let in with John in particular and how he's processing his grief, his loss. I mean, John has experienced loss, you know, being the last Spartan. He was forced to watch many of his comrades and friends disappear by the wayside, but still keep the mission in mind. So he's had, you know, part of that journey. But it was really compelling as a question that I thought Halo 4 asked, that, you know, how would he deal with this? Like, this would be the first time he had to deal without having Cortana by his side. How would he react? What would he do? What would he say? We didn't get there. We didn't get there for him, and I feel like his character suffered a little bit as a result.
Yeah.
And to a point,
It
I
did.
feel like,
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I don't think that we should be turning Halo into a feels fest.
but it had the capacity for feels. That was always the unique
But there are feels
about the franchise. You know, you weren't just the green guy in the
Yeah.
suit shooting things. Like, Doom is unabashedly about the guy in the green suit killing the things, and it wears that proudly on its sleeve. But Halo has always, I feel,
Yeah.
to some degree, said, you know, there's a guy, there's a person in this suit.
Yeah.
His name is John.
True. His name is John.
And I just, there was a bit of a missed opportunity in having John, you know, examine himself. Having John react in a realistic way, you know. If you remember, at the start of the story, I feel like we were almost giving the story too much credit, because initially it seemed like only John could hear Cortana, like this weird voice calling to him. And our initial impression was, oh shit, it's the grief. We got that grief going.
Yeah.
He's not processing it the right way. He's saying crazy things.
He's like hallucinating.
He's
thinking Cortana is calling him from inside caves and
stuff. Like, and we totally thought that they were going in that particular direction. Like, all right, he's clearly not processing this well. He's hearing stuff. He's seeing stuff. I'm not entirely sure that they went with that as far as they could, because as it turned out, he wasn't hearing voices. Cortana really was alive. And she was doing some craziness. It robs him, I feel, of crucial character development for the more obvious distinction that, well, she's back. And she's evil now.
Yeah.
I can't help but be a little bit disappointed.
I am pretty disappointed at what they did with this specific story.
You know, imagine, like, I can only imagine if, say if the story really stretched that out for several chapters. You know, like, do you remember Dead Space 1?
Mm-hmm.
You remember the way you're never really sure about Isaac and Nicole? It doesn't really hit you until the very end. But you hear her, he sees her, he even protects her and tries to rescue her, and as it turns out, she was gone the entire time.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I could...
But that was also the marker, right? Like, the marker was driving him crazy.
It was the marker and Isaac's own delusion, but, you know, the takeaway was... He knew. The takeaway was that he knew the entire time, because when you watch it at the end, you see the entire recording that she sent him. And when you watch the entire recording, spoiler alert, she injects herself, she dies, almost giving you the impression that Isaac intentionally repressed that part of the video. He just kept rewinding it from the beginning until he believed that she could possibly be there. That's some serious brain work, okay? That is a picture-perfect examination of dealing with grief and loss. He didn't want to believe that she was dead up until the point where the marker was able to trick him into believing that she was still alive. You think the chief would go through the same thing, having known her for the vast majority of his life.
Yeah. What?
Nothing.
Yeah, then. Okay.
It's just weird.
I
We didn't
mean,
get to see that. I could imagine how much better this would have been if they'd really drawn out, Cortana's reveal and made it seem like, hey, maybe the chief is going kind of nuts. Like, can you imagine Blue Team reacting to him as if he was the only one seeing these things up until maybe the last 3 chapters? And it was left ambiguous up to us as viewers to say, oh, well, is the chief grieving? Is he really seeing her? I don't know. It's kind of sketchy.
yeah, but then you have to justify why Locke is so bent on getting him to stand
Well,
down.
Locke is following orders, and that's the interesting thing about Locke's entire quest. Locke's crew doesn't really have any emotional, contextual involvement with the Master Chief. They're part of Oni. The assignment is to take out the Master Chief or subdue him and bring him back. They have no emotional investment with his story. When you see Team Osiris at the beginning, they're supposed to take out Julim Dama. They have nothing to do with Master Chief at the beginning, and then eventually they get the assignment to subdue the Master Chief. Whereas Buck says...
Yeah, but the reason...
Yeah, but Buck is like, hey, man, everybody's gonna hate us for taking this mission. And he's like, hey, man, when is it ever more than a mission? And they rationalize it, but they have no emotional investment in Chief or Cortana or anything about him. It's a mission to them.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't have been too,
True. But what I'm saying is the reason they're out there isn't because Chief just went AWOL. They're out there because they knew that Cortana was doing something, and they were there to stop him from going after her. Like, that's when they meet. He's like, oh, stand down. We got it covered. He's like, really? Okay.
This person is trying to tell me that
You got it
Cortana's in
covered.
Chief's helmet. I don't think he understands Halo's story very much. Cortana hasn't been in Chief's helmet since Halo 3, my guy. You're pretty wrong.
No, Cortana's definitely not.
You're pretty wrong.
Cortana's definite. Alright, yeah, Cortana's definitely not in the Chief's helmet. Not anymore.
He's like copy pasting parts of the wiki. He's like, you got it all wrong. Cortana's in Chief's helmet. He doesn't understand. Cortana is in Chief's. Cortana is on an SD card.
Basically. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, even if you were to try and take the copy paste from the wiki literally, if you look at the trailer for Halo Infinite, when Chief reactivates, his helmet distinctively says there is no AI present. Like, there is no Cortana. There's nothing. There's nothing there. When she went...
No, but also, also, what are we talking about pre-Halo 4?
Yeah.
Pre-Halo 4. Okay. Pre-Halo 4, Cortana spends most of her time in Chief's helmet. But as of Halo 4, we established, right, that once she had to deal with her rampancy, she used the different parts of her personality to fight the Didact, and that she pretty much split herself into pieces, and that parts of her, I mean, this is what we learned in this game, ended up in the domain, which is how she became what she is now. Definitely not in the Chief's helmet.
Yeah. I mean, if you remember, over the course of Halo 4's campaign, Cortana got progressively crazier until he had to kind of put her aside.
In Halo 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, rampancy. She stopped. Remember, she started crashing spaceships. She started freaking out on people. The very last thing she did for him was she took all of her rampant personalities and used them to overwhelm the Didact. That's how the Chief got a chance to, you know, fight the Didact. Otherwise, he was gonna get his ass handed to him.
It was all of those rampant Cortana personalities that weakened him and allowed the Chief to defeat her.
Yeah, defeat him.
So,
and then, like, yeah, the goodbye scene with the Chief. You know, she says, talking about Halo 4 now. And he's like, oh yeah, come on, you made it, let's go. And she's like, no, like, most of me is down there. Meaning this, you know, slip space explosion that she caused. I only saved enough to get you back on the ship and get you off. And that's all she had.
Yeah.
But we didn't know that she'd end up on the domain.
That's what we didn't know.
Which is where we are now.
We didn't know. We had no idea that she'd end up inside of the domain, get her rampancy cured, and turn into a crazy person.
Or whatever she is now, yeah. I mean, I have to imagine that if she were in the Chief's helmet right now, she'd probably drive him crazy.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, because she's got all this crazy knowledge now that she accessed from the Forerunner repository of knowledge. Like, that's what the domain is. But that's just a guess. I don't know about what would happen.
But now what?
But now what? That's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. From what we saw in the Halo Infinity trailer, we did get a snippet of Cortana.
We did?
Yeah, we see the chief walking toward like a well of light, and a and you hear Cortana's voice. I forget what she says though.
That was a quote.
Should probably watch that
That
trailer again.
okay, that's a quote from a previous game. That's not something new that she said.
Oh, okay. So then why show it?
Because it relates to her in some way, but that's a quote from a previous game. That's not.
Well, what did she say? Do you remember?
I can't quote it verbatim, but I recognized it in the moment as something she said before. That wasn't that wasn't a new quote from her.
Oh, okay. All right. But I mean, we do hear her, so I wonder how she connects.
The way this game leaves off, it's more down to, well, I guess how are we gonna stop Cortana from obliterating humanity?
Right, and the way that, I mean, I don't know. First of all, there's no way for us to know that that's the actual beginning of the game. We know that that's what they're choosing to show us now, but whatever.
Well, I think
so. Grain of salt on
well,
that.
I think that guy discovering the chief floating around in space has some credence to it.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is like, what's going on with that Halo array? And who's after that ship? Is it the Guardians? I bet it's... I mean, I don't know. So many questions. And how did the chief end up floating out in the middle of nowhere? Oh, come on. So unsatisfying.
Oh, is it clear that Bungie isn't writing it? Really? Yeah, no, that was not satisfying. I don't think Osiris got their just due. I don't think Blue Team got their just due. It was just a bunch of LOL what? With a dash of confusion thrown in. It looked cool, though.
It did look cool, whereas the other games are all like...
We're telling an actual story.
We're gonna tell you this story through all these, this collection of gameplay and cutscenes. This game relies very heavily on the cutscenes to tell its story. Very heavily. It's like, we're gonna show you all these crazy cutscenes. Look at all the oh my god, what is happening? Cutscenes.
Like, if I stop to ask you, hey, hon, who's Miranda Keys? Who is Sergeant Johnson? Who is Tartarus? Who is the Arbiter? You have a very clear picture in your mind of who these people are and what purpose they serve and what function they serve towards the story. Now, if after this game I said to you, so, hun, who's Vale? Who's Tanaka? Can you describe either of these people and their role in the plot? What's up with Fred? How about Kelly? How about Roland, the AI?
Yeah.
How's Lasky doing these days? Can you characterize any of these people?
No. Not from what we were showed. Interestingly, Cortana had the most... While she was dissing everybody, she had some interesting tidbits on everybody that was like, oh, interesting. So I hadn't even thought about it, but Buck is older than everyone.
Why is Buck there?
Yeah, why is Buck here? I mean, that's definitely part of you didn't do your homework.
What about Julam Dama?
What about Julam Dama? He came... Is Julam Dama he or she?
Julam Dama died in the first mission, so...
So, okay. And What about the Didact? Because I thought the Didact was dead after Halo 4, but it seems that's not the case. But we never saw him in this game. It was just mentioned that he's still around doing whatever.
He was replaced by the Warden Eternal. The person who we fought like 9 times.
So I guess my question is, if the main villain of the story is gonna turn out to be the Warden Eternal and then Cortana, why mention the Didact at all? Why not just let us assume he's dead?
You know what had happened was, when the
Because he's not gonna factor into anything. Not in this game. Maybe, when we finally catch up on our homework, we'll find out that he was actually doing other things unbeknownst to us. But in this game, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't even appear.
he doesn't. Do we even know what he wants?
So, yeah.
Contrary to what the Warden Eternal wants? Like, why isn't the Warden Eternal just Didact 2.0 if they have the same mission?
Well, in Halo 4, I believe the Didact wanted to compose the world or the galaxy because he felt that was what the
if you
precursors did.
Well, if you remember, he was like the top general in the Promethean army, and he fought for the ideology of the Mantle of Responsibility, and he was betrayed.
Yeah. He was?
Well,
By who?
he felt like the mantle, fell down to him and his peoples, and as it turned out, it did not. And that rage, sustained him until up to a point where he could try and assume it for himself. And that's where we ran into him in conflict in Halo 4, where he was trying to take back the responsibility, so to speak, that he felt had been bestowed onto him already. As it turned out, that was not the case. Because apparently, the Mantle of Responsibility falls down to the created, so it's supposed to be AIs. What? My heart.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what went wrong here. What happened to I don't understand. And this is why I said we should wait. We should wait until we get to the end, because you would have to take this firsthand and go, what? After all those trailers, you had the Locke and Master Chief and Hunt the Truth. And Guardians and Master Chief going rogue and Locke hunting him down to find the truth, and I'm not sure that at any point the story was about that at all.
It was not. I mean, it was only about that up until that fight. I feel like we settled everything we had to settle
in that one cutscene, right? And then after
yeah, in that one cutscene, I feel like after that, it became about, Cortana's increasing, claiming the Mantle of Responsibility. Because if it was about Locke versus the Chief, I mean...
We resolved that pretty early on.
We resolved that pretty early on, yeah. Chief got him with his own weapon, so...
He did. He was like, armor lock. LOL. No.
Have fun with that. See you later.
Yep. You hold that L. And yeah. I'm almost under the impression they had something different in mind at first. And
Yeah.
maybe they just changed it later on. Or I just...
Maybe. Seems like something like that, yeah.
This was not... I don't know. The story of Halo 5 for you. All of the questions.
I have too many questions.
I'm not trying to be hyperbolic. Okay. This might be the weakest story that Halo has ever endured.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Again, not trying to hyperbole while I'm hyperboleing, but I don't think we've ever left a Halo game with this many questions, with this many gripes, concerns, just plot fillers.
Yeah.
Something went wrong here. On the gameplay front, you could say they did a lot to modernize it, even though it doesn't feel distinctively Halo. But story-wise, you can really feel the changes because it just, it made a name for itself by providing a shooter with a great story and memorable characters. And I mean, if I asked you anything about the Swords of Sanghelios, what would you say to me? Precisely.
I don't know.
Precisely. You would say, But if I asked you about the grunts, if I asked you about the elites, the Arbiter, in Halo 2, you could tell me a tome.
I mean, that was, I think, definitely the strongest entry with Halo 2.
I will continue my campaign against the humans.
It's like, oh my god. Sorry, I just threw a fork across the room. But
okay.
Seriously, it's the gas leak.
Yeah, it's the gas leak game.
How I'm gonna characterize this. This is the gas leak sequel.
Well, we'll catch the Master Chief again in 2020.
Apparently.
Maybe around September or November-ish.
I wonder if they're gonna...
If they said holiday 2020.
I wonder if they're gonna continue where this story left off. Or if they're gonna do something else entirely. Because... I don't even know how you get from place to place, but I can say visually, the Halo Infinite trailer established early on. Did you see his suit?
Yeah, he's got the other suit.
Did you see how they reverted back to his simpler, more iconic design for the suit?
Mm-hmm.
How his lines were very distinct and very Master Chiefy. The guy was like, "Oh no, this thing's, we gotta get out of there. You gotta get out of here." And Chief was just like,
"No, we have to fight."
And I was like, "That's the Master Chief. That's him. That's I need a weapon, Chief." Seems like they've rolled back a little bit. I really hope.
Well,
You know.
yeah, they reverted back to. Well, okay. So the there are okay. So there are two ways to think about this, right? Like the first is they just decided to revert back to the more recognizable design, right?
Yeah.
And the second way to think about it is, remember in Halo 4 when his armor, it's, you know, if you want to say that it has something to do with the story, then remember in Halo 4 when he took his armor off for the first time.
4?
And like forever. Yeah, at the end of 4, when he walked off the ship, the last thing we see is they're taking his armor off. Like he steps onto this thing and they start taking his armor off. Which to me, because the next time we see him here, he's wearing that more modern, I guess, version of the armor. To me, that indicates that that's the point at which it was changed. So, I'm thinking at some point in the story, he decided to change it back. And I wonder why. Like, if they're just going to... If they're just going to redesign his costume, then whatever. But I wonder if they have like a story explanation for it. Like, why does he have a different kind of armor? What does that mean to him?
True. Do you think canonically that he would have switched back to his old armor at some point? His Mark IV armor?
I don't know, but it's something to consider.
I mean, weirdly enough...
Because you're right. That's a very specific choice, that they made.
Yeah.
They could have just, taken this suit that he's wearing in this game and kept it. There's nothing wrong with it.
But at the same time, there's an... Alright, I'm speaking entirely as a fan here, but there's an elegant simplicity to his original design that I feel was lost as you can see in 343's reinterpretation of the game's art style. They focus heavily on detail, and the details having details, and the details having details of their own. So it led to this really, symmetrical, grid-based, perfectionism. It's just details for the sake of having them. And there's a nice, when you look at his suit in Halo 5 versus his suit in Halo 4, they look the same. They serve the same function, but, one suit looks like what it is, and the other suit just looks like it was trying to cram as many lines and plates and armor pieces and into one body as humanly possible. It's almost distracting in how detailed it is. Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it's a bit meta. They decided to go back to the original design. Maybe it was by his choice. I mean, we'll never know. But, something tells me, at least from the trailer, that Infinite seems to be going back to that character-based. I mean, we got a load of detail on whatever that guy's name is. Even before he used his jumper cables to bring the Chief back to life. I mean, no?
Yeah. No, I think you're
Yeah,
right.
this little hologram that he played of his wife. He's
Yeah.
out there unmoored and alone.
Yeah.
Chief comes back, you know, he wakes up, he does his little system diagnostics. His armor correctly notes that there was no AI present.
But he has the little container thing.
And upon sight, when he sees Forerunner ships and Promethean whatevers, his immediate instinct is, well, it doesn't look like we're running our way out of this.
Yeah. We have to fight.
It's a very distinctly Master Chief thing to say and do.
Indeed.
I mean, here's hoping, right? It's not, you know. I feel like there's a reason they didn't call it Halo 6.
That's true. I wonder why they decided to call it Halo Infinity.
Because whoever wrote this crap wrote them into a corner. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm just slightly mad. It's a weird dichotomy with games, right? Because the gameplay was fine enough, but the story was pretty unsatisfying, and you kind of have to put one against the other in trying to gauge your enjoyment.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely liked all the little amenities they added, you know.
Did you? Did you use that stuff much during the game, though? How often were you ground pounding?
Not all that much.
And shoulder charging?
I mean, the ground pounding, I was shoulder charging. I wasn't doing that much ground pounding because it was kind of awkward to use.
What about sprinting?
I sprinted a lot.
You were sprinting everywhere? Were you sliding everywhere?
Especially when you're trying to... Yeah, when you're trying to avoid those Promethean knights. Your lifeline.
But you were sliding? Like a dog on its hind legs, you were just sliding everywhere? Were you?
I mean, I don't know that I was doing it like a dog on its hind legs, but I was sliding. Yes.
You might have been.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like to a degree,
that was Halo 5.
we could have a huge discussion about the elegant simplicity of that which is Halo, put up against its modernized brethren, and you know, we went through 3 Halo games without ever needing to sprint, or slide, or do any of this craziness, and it worked just fine.
That's true.
You know, it never felt like it was lesser because it didn't have those things. Because in 2007, when Halo 3 came out, sprinting was a thing. Mantling was a thing. You know, Call of Duty was definitely in its heyday by that point. But Halo still felt like Halo.
I mean, listen, I won't argue that the sprinting did help. Because...
It helped?
It did. It did. Like, there are times during, like, Halo 1 and 2, and 3, actually, that I'm like, I wish I could just go a little bit faster. Like, does he have to go everywhere at a leisurely pace?
He's running!
And he runs? Like...
There's a difference between running and sprinting, though. Like, when you play Gears...
Like...
Aren't you running more often than not? But then you've got that roadie run, which is like the, I'm gonna tuck my head down and turn into a moving boulder. But there's a distinction. I mean, you're still running, you're just not sprinting. Sprinting is hard. Especially when your armor weighs a ton.
Well, that's okay. He's not real. Like, he can manage it.
He has to be real, though. If there's no stakes and you're playing as a superhuman, how are you supposed to empathize? Or feel anything?
I'm not. But running versus not running is not the deciding component of that.
Sprinting versus running, we're talking about. He's running the whole time. I mean, you're not casually walking.
But he feels slow, and he shouldn't.
But his suit of armor it weighs a ton.
But he's not wearing it like he's wearing a tank. He's wearing it like those are his clothes.
But it weighs a ton.
But he doesn't wear it like it wears a ton. He wears it like it was made for him, right?
You just want humans to run with armor that weighs a ton. Just even if he's a cyborg, you want him to be like, I can run unlimited. This ton armor.
I mean, I'm not saying it should be unlimited. Maybe he has a cooldown or whatever, but
You are spoiled by modern day FPSs. I get it. We were playing as Space Wizards not more than 2 hours ago who can fly and double jump and sprint wherever they want. But this is a dude wearing some really heavy armor. And no, I don't think he should be sluggish, but it stands to reason that, even while running, you're not going to have the prowess of Usain Bolt.
no, I'm not saying he needs to do anything crazy. I'm just saying he's not wearing a suit that he's carrying around like a giant.
But he is carrying it, no?
You're saying, but it's not for him. For him, it's not like that. For him, it's what he wears. He barely ever takes it off.
Do you see how high he jumps while he's wearing it? Imagine someone else in that suit.
If it were that heavy, who
Imagine
else?
a normal person wearing that suit and how slow they would move. I mean, you move at a pretty natural pace.
They would.
Again, sprinting is.
But he's not a normal person.
But sprinting is nice. But sprinting is really fast running. Like, running is one thing, but sprinting is another. Have you ever sprinted? You can't keep that kind of pace at a constant, right? Because it's like sprinting.
Well, that's why I said maybe they can do a cooldown or something. Like maybe you can only. They did it in Gears of War.
They did it in Reach.
You can only go that.
They did it in Reach. In Reach, you could sprint, but sprinting had a cooldown. In Halo 5, there is no cooldown. You're just sprinting everywhere like it's Call of Duty.
Okay.
You're sprinting, you're sliding, you're jumping, you're gliding, you're ground pounding. There's so much stuff. You get me.
I mean, it definitely got modernized a bit.
It did. It's not a bad thing.
Which didn't really bother me all that much.
The only thing that bothered me personally was the ammo count.
The ammo count?
Yeah, I felt...
Well, you think there was not enough ammo?
No, not nearly. I felt like I couldn't get into a rhythm of picking up what I wanted to use and just using it because there was so little ammo to go around. You kind of had to constantly switch. You couldn't say, oh, I want to, like, I feel like in the previous ones you could say, oh, well, I want to use the battle rifle or I want to use the plasma rifle and I'm going to keep those for a good while. Like in this one, it was like, all right, I'm almost out of ammo. I have to switch to something else immediately.
Yeah.
The clips were very small. It's a very deliberate choice, too. I get they probably wanted you to use a lot of the weapons. But the consequence was that, you didn't get to stick on anything very long. mean,
Yeah, I feel like they were like, don't get attached to any of this. Just use it.
yeah, like it's okay. I mean, I'm not mad about it terribly, but you can feel it. But gameplay-wise, I have little complaints. It's not distinctively Halo, but the sandbox was still intact, so I had fun. It's just, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. The story just wasn't satisfying. It was a fun game to play. I would have structured it differently.
Took you long enough?
Narratively. Like, what does that even mean?
Dr. Halsey, we have questions.
Yeah. Well, we'll see the chief next year.
Surprisingly enough. I can't believe you didn't remember. Like, this game came out in 2015.
Wow.
2015.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, right?
It feels like it just came out.
Well, it definitely looks the part, but yeah, it came out in 2015.
Yeah.
Hopefully those 5 years were very fruitful. We'll definitely keep up. We still have yet to play Halo Reach. Which was...
Oh, yeah, that's
That was
true.
Bungie's swan song to the Halo series.
Oh. Yes, I know.
Before they went off and tethered themselves to another corporate entity for 9 years. I thought that's what you were trying to avoid, Bungie. You know what? We'll save that for another day. But yes, as soon as 343 gets their cheeks in order and, you know, remasters Halo Reach, we'll be back to the Halo well, hopefully before Infinite comes out.
Okay. That sounds like a plan.
Snort. It said that is the
Nice.
end of our Halo 5 Guardians playthrough. The most
It is.
unsatisfying ending in the history of all Halo games. Shame on you, Brian Reed. Brian Reed. You even know what story you were writing for? How could you do this to us?
Yeah.
And if it were 2015, how would you feel right now?
If it were 2015, I'd be really annoyed. Really annoyed.
Really annoyed.
Yeah.
What would be your number one question?
Took you long enough for what?
To show up?
Yeah.
I think they were going for like the kind of you know, Metal Gear Solid kept you waiting, huh?
Kept you waiting,
Yeah.
huh? Yeah.
See, you already know. But instead, we had nothing but questions. Well, it's okay. I mean, I think it is. That can...
No, go ahead, dude.
I was gonna say that concludes tonight's episode of the Expert Playlist. Post-discussion.
It does.
Post Halo 5 Guardians. Post incredulity. Post confusion. Hashtag LOL what?
Hashtag LLWTF.
We tried. There were debates. There were calls to reason. But even we cannot explain what just went down here.
Oh, yeah, I'll be sure to catch up on some of the lore and stuff, and hopefully I won't need it to understand the next game.
We have to do our
Hopefully it'll
homework.
just be a fun activity. Yeah.
Well, then, you know what to say to the people.
Well, I think people should follow us on the Instagrams and on the Twitters and on the Facebooks and on the YouTubes.
The YouTubes?
They should, yeah. They should definitely check us out at infernalpenguins.com.
.com.
Yep.
What's been happening on those .coms recently?
Well, we have a couple of things pending right now. The latest thing you're gonna see is a Dangerous Dragon review.
Also a movie review or two.
We have a couple of movie reviews coming up
They're gonna
soon.
be popping soon.
Yeah. So keep an eye on those.
Just to keep that disappointment train rolling, we just throw something across the room. Oh, oops. Excuse me.
Okay.
Content abound at infernalpenguins.com. Thank you for watching the expert playlist. The end of Halo 5 Guardians. Dang it, Brian Reed. We will see you again on our next broadcast date with something all new and exciting to crab through. Are you prepared?
Indeed. I'm prepared.
Oh, nope. Nope. The answer is you are not. But we'll see you then. Thank you for watching. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hashtag not my Cortana.
Not my Cortana.
How could they leave us on that note? Just Guardians in the ether. Master Chief on Earth. Or wherever he is. Wherever they are.
Wherever.
Cortana having no idea what's going on. Audience completely baffled. Where do we even go?
Completely baffled.